TV trash. Once upon a time, women had their equivalent to football games on Sunday afternoons. While most guys would gather around in front of the TV with beer and chips to watch steroid-filled goons hit each other, hordes of females would host watching parties of their own with chocolates and wine spritzers for a little show called Sex and the City. Based on the Candace Bushnell novel, Sex and the City was one of HBO's first attempts at its own episodic TV series, and admittedly among women it was a big cult hit. Since I am more than comfortable with my own masculinity, and with the second movie recently out, now is as good a time as any to take a look at this show. Sex and the City revolves around Carrie Bradshaw, played by Sarah Jessica Parker. Carrie is a news columnist in New York City, writing about women, sex, and relationships. Okay, that is kinda hot. Now, a lot of guys have made comments about Sarah Jessica not being this sex bomb she was supposedly viewed as in the show, especially compared to Carrie's three friends. My take? She's not that unattractive. Maybe it's from watching Hocus Pocus when I was 14 and remembering her in that bodice. She's not Alyssa Milano, but I'd say Matthew Broderick's a pretty lucky guy. Of course, I've got to deal with this ugly mug every day, so I can't exactly be picky. What isn't attractive is that high maintenance doesn't begin to describe this character. She spends more money in a week on shoes and clothes than I spend in a year on baseball tickets. Now, in fairness, I myself have an affinity for name brand shoes. It's just that in my case, the shoes cost $40 and the name starts with Chuck. I mean, really, maybe it's the Y chromosome talking, but what's the point in maxing out your credit rating on Manolo Blahnik shoes? Do you think it makes you more attractive? It's Manolo Blahnik, you chauvinist ass. Look, all I'm saying is that women can be just as sexy in Nikes and t-shirts. Where did this come from, anyway? So what about those friends of hers? Well, we have Miranda, a cold, negative Nellie who believes she will never find love, Charlotte, who has future Stepford wife written all over her, and Samantha, the resident cougar who'll bang just about anything under 30. Samantha believes that women should have no problem having sex like men. So Carrie decides to do this, sleeping with one of her old boyfriends and then just walking out the next morning. I'm starting to like Carrie. And why do I already hate this guy?
He's the next Donald Trump, except he's younger and much better looking.
That's a good reason. Yes, meet Mr. Big, and like the Prince Charming he is obviously patterned after, we never hear his real name for the entire series. And why? Sure, we never heard Agent 99's name on Get Smart, but she was a secret agent, so it made some sense. I guess they were going for Chris Noth's character representing every woman's fantasy, which apparently means the other 99% of us guys should just give up now. Seriously, if a show came out that flat out said Megan Fox is what every woman should be like, how long would it be before they heard it from the feminists? So much of season 1 involves Carrie's relationship with Big, only to have them break up in the end because he has commitment issues or something. Well, I guess we won't be seeing him again for a while. I mean, Carrie wouldn't be foolish enough to take him immediately back.
Me, Big, a doorway, and mixed emotions.
Oh, give me a break! You know, let's see how the others are doing. Miranda keeps stringing along her on-off boyfriend Skipper because she can't handle being with a nice guy, and Samantha actually finds a guy she cares about, but dumps him because size apparently does matter. Really, if these gender roles were reversed, they'd send Lorena Bobbitt after the producer! So, Carrie and Big are dating again, and how long does it last this time?
I am such an idiot!
Okay, who had 7 episodes in the pool? On to season 3. Big is getting married, and Carrie meets up with Aiden, who actually is a simple, nice guy that's always there for her. So it seems like everything is going perfectly.
What do you want?
I miss you.
Don't do it, Carrie. Gah! You know, maybe I should have put that table in front of me so I could bang on it. So it's not like this is surprising, but Carrie and Big ruined both their relationships through this affair. What's worse is that the show seems to try and paint Carrie as some sort of sympathetic figure who wrecked things because she just couldn't help herself. Or it's because Carrie Bradshaw wears the idiot ball like a freaking necklace! So what happens after that? Well, Carrie and Big try to be just friends, while she and Aiden get back together, only to break up again because she gets commitment issues of some sort. Big moves to San Francisco, she hooks up with a guy called Burger, only to have it not last, and... You know, I can keep track of 3 different baseball leagues at the same time, but this hardly makes any sense to me! To sum it all up, Carrie keeps trying to find love, only to always throw it away because she can't live without sex with Big. Wait a minute, let me think about this. We have a needy, high-maintenance female protagonist who is eternally attracted to a brooding but good-looking guy who's constantly breaking up with her and treating her like crap, and all of her friends keep telling her he's no good for her. Good gravy, this is Twilight for adults! To its credit, the show does pick up some good secondary stories in the later seasons surrounding Carrie's friends. Miranda, after stringing Skipper along for 5 years, including having his baby, finally realizes that he's the one for her and marries him. Charlotte, after her dream marriage crashes and burns, finds real love in her bald, slovenly divorce attorney. Even Samantha discovers that one of her boy toys actually cares about her, to the point where he shaves his head in support for her going through chemotherapy for cancer. Meanwhile, Carrie falls for a Russian artist named Petrovsky. But is he the one to finally make her forget about Big?
Hey, I want to talk to you. Call me.
Deleted.
So yeah, it looks like Carrie has finally found her man, to the point of moving all the way to Paris with him. But then...
And I didn't give all of that up to come here and wander the streets of Paris alone.
Please,
Now-
Carrie.
Yes, Petrovsky turns out to be an uncaring jerk behind that facade, and guess who shows up to rescue Carrie from him?
I miss New York. Take me home.
And that's how the show ends, with Mr. Big bringing Carrie back home to be with him and her friends. So there's your real moral, ladies. Keep going back to the good-looking heartbreaker no matter how many times he hurts you, and eventually he'll change and be the man you've always wanted. The BS meter is going off the scale! Sex and the City might not be the worst thing ever made. It admittedly wasn't made for men in general, and it does have some decent subplots, but it gets bogged down by going back to the same story again and again that makes Cinderella look realistic. And the ending seems like it was forced, just to give the viewers what they wanted in Carrie and Big getting together for good, cementing their belief in settling for nothing less than Prince Charming. Now, if you excuse me, I think I'll go look for a prostitute, because that's apparently my only chance of having sex, because I'm not Mr. Big. See you next time on TV Trash!
Let's talk about sex, baby.